Hi everyone, it's Andrew, and I'm going to start this video with an apology. I know it's a rubbish way, it's probably in the top 5 don'ts do, but I've just got in from work. I realised I owe you a video for this, and I've had a day from hell. I've got a bank audit first thing in the morning, which is about as much fun as dental work, so I'm a bit kind of, you know, not entirely in the mood, I'll be frank. I haven't rehearsed this, I haven't thought about what I'm going to say, so I do apologise if we meander slightly, more than normal, I mean. But anyway, without further ado, I don't want to keep you for more than about 20 minutes. Here is the Range Rover. Last week we looked at the little Jeep, which I will tell you is very cute. It's very almost done. It drives very nicely. It's got all the bits on that I need, was waiting for, and so on. So I'm looking forward to showing you that. That'll be next week. But this week it's the Range Rover. And look at her, isn't she a thing? She actually looks like a Range Rover now. So I've done quite a lot of work to this. So I'm going to talk you through it a bit at a time. We'll probably get in close, and I'll put her on the turntable so we can move her around without too much kerfuffle. But at the present time, she is sitting on the Axial 10.2 kit chassis, not the builder's kit, not the RTR, because that's for kids, right? It's on the proper 10.2 chassis, yeah, with the Cherokee kit, right? God, I wish they still sold that. Axial, what are you doing? Where are they? Why can't I buy one anymore? Anyhow, it's on that chassis, which, as you probably remember, has got quite a low gearbox, so that's been a blessing for this. So what you're looking at here, just to give you the quick highlights, you're looking at new wheels and tyres, you're looking at the body shell on, you're looking at it's sitting on an interior. The interior is from the LC80 that is available on eBay. Look at Steve at RC Crawlers Mid Wales. I'll put a link up here, or maybe it's there. No, it's here, I think. Yeah, there it is. And you'll see the LC80 that I'm talking about. He's got this interior in that LC80. It comes with a lovely dash and everything. But I like the seats. I wanted the big seats. This is a 5-door Range Rover, as you could maybe make out. Like the Vogue version, really, is what it was. So it had the big luxury velour seats. And these are the nearest I could find to those seats. So I've done a mountain of cutting, as you'll see, to get the LC80 tub in here and get everything sitting where it needs to sit. So it's actually on the chassis. It is in there. I can still move it around on the chassis a little bit because it's not fixed down or anything. So that's where I'm at, and I think she looks pretty awesome. So let me get this on the turntable, get the camera in, and we'll go through all the bits that I've done in turn. Okay, so first and foremost, we've got a new set of wheels and tyres. These are eBay rims. They're very nice, quite heavy. I like the I wanted black wheels on this because it's I'll show you the colour it's going to be shortly, but I wanted black, but I like a little bit of highlight maybe, so these worked out really nicely with the chrome and the largely black. They do come with a big black hubcap as well, which was also important to me to have instead of some scabby old wheel nut hanging out. Now the tyres are BF Goodrich from Proline. I think they are KR03s maybe. Mud terrain tyres. I wanted a capable tread, but nothing too aggressive. These are the most aggressive tread with this distinct sidewall, which I'd class as you're familiar with the all-terrain Goodriches. So these are just a step up from the all-terrains in terms of their tread kind of gnarliness. Yeah, so there's a shot of the tread. They're quite soft. I mean, this is going to be quite a heavy rig, I think. So they're not the softest thing in the world, but they are quite soft, quite pliable, and I think they're just the right sort of size. Class 1, I think it is. It's about 106 mil. Again, I didn't want anything too big because of the wheel arches aren't huge, are they? And you go 106s kind of fit really good. So that's the wheels and tyres. Yeah, maybe you'll notice the stock running boards on here. From the actual kit. I have got some metal ones to replace with, but I just put these on because I was quite keen to have them. I don't want the paintwork getting mangled when it goes and plays on the rocks in Wales. much like the Unimog, they saved the day on that many a times, and I'm sure these will do the same or similar. Now that has led to an interesting conundrum, because this kit mounts, this shell mounts to the supplied kind of running boards that they give you. They don't come out, so there's no protection on them. They just sit under the come off the chassis, and the shell bolts to them. So I've gone for these. I'm going to try and work out a way of attaching the shell maybe to them afterwards. Okay, so interior next. I want to just show you the seats in place, and give you an idea of what I mean about how big the seats are and how well they fill the space. If I can find a picture of a Range Rover Vogue, I'll put that on the screen as well, so you can kind of get an idea what I mean. So they see the back seats are up high. That's quite a nice thing. I like them being so close to the roof. The front seats are a little bit lower. Maybe they need to be a bit higher for real life. I can't remember, so I'll have to keep looking back before I fix them in place. They're not fixed in place at all. They are just resting tentatively. You see the amount of cutting I've had to do there. I've had to cut the whole side panel off, because as you can see, there is the motor. So there is a motor and gearbox intrusion, quite a big one, but it doesn't come up much higher than the seat bases. So there's not a lot of intrusion in there. You know, I just need to cover up the yellow motor, and then, you know, you're looking through the windows, you won't see anything in between the seats other than a slightly offset console, which is, you know, c'est la vie. So yeah, there's still some fiddling around to do. Okay, so there is the truck naked. This is the tub that is sitting on the chassis. It's not secured, it's just sitting on the chassis. So bear in mind two things. First of all, this was completely enclosed. It had walls all the way around, so I've had to cut all those walls off to fit the where the shell is, where the truck, where the doors are, and so on. The back doors, I know they don't open on the truck, on the shell, but I didn't want to have just a sort of black wall. I'm going to make door cards. I've got door cards for the front. I don't think I've got door cards for the back, so I'll have to make something to go over the inside of the shell. Also the fitment, if I can turn this over so you can see how much of the floor I've cut out. I don't think there was a hole at all in the floor. Only some holes for the shock towers at the back, but I don't think there was any holes at all for the engine. So I had to cut pretty much all of that away to fit the gearbox. So as you can see, I mean, if you're not familiar with the Jeep Cherokee 10.2 kit chassis, there's the gearbox. So it's not got the giant windmill effect upright thing that the builder's kit and the RTRs have. It's a much lower, although obviously not as low as some, but low enough to avoid major dramas with intrusion into the cab area. It took a long time to get this in roughly into the right position for the wheel arches and so on, and then the shell to fit. There's like three parts have to come together. I've spent a lot of time putting on and off, on and off, on and off, cutting a bit more, trying to get it straight. You know, they're trying to get the whole kind of, get this, you know, not this way, not that way, just getting it kind of in the right position. So it's quite a challenge. It's been quite a challenge, and I'm not, you know, it's every time I look at it I think, oh, I'll just I'm glad I've got a bit of boot left, because obviously the Range Rover's like an estate car, and that's going to be pretty cool. That's probably where the battery's going to go. It's the only place I can think to put it. It would go at the front. Obviously on the 10.2 the battery goes at the front, goes in here next to all this tasteful red anodized aluminium-y things. It would normally go in the front, but the bonnet doesn't open on the shell anymore, so we'll look at that in a minute. So the battery is probably going to go in through the rear hatch into the boot. It's the only place I can really put it. I have got some issues to solve with that's where it is. It's on the TRX4 Sport shocks at the moment, which I think I need to rebuild that. Now let's have a quick look at the shell. Now the shell is a beautiful thing. It's very strong. it's been beautifully assembled, beautifully designed, slightly ham-fisted assembly, unfortunately. Look at all the bracing in there. You know, you have to make all this bracing up, with all these screws, all these silver screws you can see. You have to do a whole bunch of bracing on the roof, make all these sections up. The tailgate and the rear hatch were amazing assemblies all on their own. This rear hatch is the first of the two things that doesn't work on this shell for me. The problem with the rear hatch, I couldn't get it to close properly. It's meant to open out, you know, into like a bench, as they do, with a couple of hinges, long hinges that sort of cantilever, kind of fold into half and then tuck away inside, but they don't. I could not get the thing to shut. It would be quite seriously ajar. And so I decided, how many times are my scale drivers going to be out having champagne and you know, a picnic hamper on the... not going to happen. So I bolted the rear tailgate shut, so it now shuts certainly well within British Leyland Austin Rover build quality levels, tolerances, if they had any. The jury's out on that one. It's very scale in the panel fits on this shell, I've got to be honest. So that's that thing. The bonnet, again, it's not such a complicated assembly. You just, you know, kind of put some little hinges in, but again, they didn't allow the bonnet to shut properly, so they left a huge great gap on the join line there, and they meant that the grille, the whole bonnet was too far forward, so it kind of overhung the grille too much. Oh, let me go and get the colour. Okay, so there you go. There's the test shell, a C24 WPL Hilux body shell. I've just put a couple of coats, very thin coats of colour onto it, on top of a grey primer, which is kind of what I'll use for this. So this is, roughly speaking, what it's going to look like. It's a metallic brown. It's got quite a heavy bronzy metallic pigment in it, and I quite like it. And I've got to say, for two fairly hurried rattle can coats, it's come out absolutely beautiful. If I took my time and rubbed the coats down a little bit in between, you know, and then it hasn't been lacquered, this is just as it comes out of the can. You know, you can see the glare. It's pretty awesome. No hint of orange peel or anything. Yeah, well impressed. So what let me show you which it is. And here is said rattle can. As usual with us, we just use Halford's automobile paints most of the time. This is Ford Roman Brown, or bronze, I should say. Ford Roman bronze. I was going to say, it sounds like an ex-president. It's a rattle can containing 300ml, and these in the UK are about £7.99, £8. And 300ml is a lot of paint. Right, so we can hand back to the studio. Hi, back. And yeah, so there you go. That's the Range Rover. It's small, isn't it? And that's where I'm at with it. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. You like more of this sort of stuff. I know the Range Rover shells are a very common thing, so I haven't really shown you how to build it. But I just want to keep you up to date with what I'm doing and what the theme is and what the kind of ideas. I think the how-to is fairly straightforward. I'm much keener to explain why I'm doing things. Why did you choose to do it this way? Why did you choose to put an LC80 interior in it, and so on. Anyhow, well, there you go. Stay tuned for more. Next week it'll be the Jeep summary, and so you can get to see the little Jeep finished. And the week after that, well, I'd better have done something to this, hadn't I? Yes. It won't be finished. Don't worry. Anyway, thank you for watching. Good night.